Good morning. I'm glad that you're joining me this morning for devotions in our daily focus. And I hope that you are anticipating experiencing the blessing of the Lord and his gracious using of us for his glory, and that you have already spent some time with him and that you have reminisced with him and praised him for who he is and another day that he has entrusted to us to serve him. Psalm 6, I'm going to go ahead and read it and then make a couple of statements in this asking God for mercy. In our prayer time, it's important that we realize that our prayer time is not a time where we pull a string and God responds the way we're asking him to respond, but that we go to him asking him to give us mercy, realizing we deserve so much more than we are given as it relates to chastening, and we have been blessed beyond measure in life and in health and in so many ways that sometimes, even in the midst of trials or difficult circumstances, we just do not respond right, and we somehow think this is wrong. We should never go through anything hard. We should never go through anything disappointing. We should not go through anything hurtful. That somehow we're supposed to live life exempt from all of those things, even though we live in a sin cursed earth, in a sin cursed body, with a sin cursed, selfish mind that does battle with God's holiness and righteousness and purity all the time. And yet, God invites us into his throne room, and that is so we can obtain mercy. And so it needs to be part of our prayer life. And so I've entitled this one, Asking God for Mercy. And it's really what we see in Psalm chapter 6. O Lord, rebuke me not in thine anger, neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure. Have mercy upon me, O Lord, for I am weak. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are vexed. My soul is also sore vexed, but thou, O Lord, how long? Return, O Lord, deliver my soul. O save me for thy mercy's sake. For in death there is no remembrance of thee, in the grave who shall give thee thanks? I am weary with my groaning. All the night make I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. Mine eye is consumed because of grief. It waxeth old because of all mine enemies. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity, for the Lord hath heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord hath heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. Let all my enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them return and be ashamed suddenly. So God reminds us through the voice of David that David is going through a tough time, and life doesn't make sense for him. Life is hard for him. He says that, I lay on my bed and I cry myself to sleep. I am hurting at the very depths of my soul, and I know that the only solution is the mercy of God. And I want God to show me mercy. I don't deserve it, but I am sure asking him if he wouldn't give me some mercy. And what a great place to be when we realize that the solution to our hurt, the solution to our pain, is God's mercy. And we're thankful that Lamentations teaches us it's new every morning. Great is his faithfulness. And so David is going to remind us that we are to ask God for mercy for our weaknesses. I hope you can admit where you're weak. I hope that you can admit where you're weak physically. The older I get, the more I realize there are just some things I shouldn't do. I am getting to the place where I realize I shouldn't move pianos up and down stairs anymore. Uh, I'm getting to the age where I realize that I should stretch before I play sports rather than just trying to play them. I am learning that I have some weaknesses that when I was younger, I never had to think about. And so God is reminding us that part of our prayer time is asking God for mercy in our weaknesses. Some of those weaknesses may emotional. I may be going through a very difficult time and I can't handle stress. I can't handle grief like maybe I once could, or this seems to overwhelm me, and I need help. I need mercy. Sometimes it's admitting where we're weak spiritually. We want everyone to think we're living on the mountaintop and we have our flesh by the tail and we are living in the glory of God, and so on and so forth. But sometimes that's just not true. We're struggling with sin. We're struggling with keeping our thinking right, keeping our attitude right, not overthinking things or not processing things in a depressing way. But trust in the Lord with all of our heart. And so David said, when I pray and ask God for mercy in my weakness. And then he says, I want God to give me mercy in my weariness. I want to admit I'm getting tired. I'm weary. And David responds, I am weary with my groaning all the night. I am really struggling, whether it's I'm really struggling with grieving, I'm really struggling with pressure, I'm struggling with workload, whatever it is. I want God to know I'm weary, and I'm asking him for mercy in my weariness. And then there's the last part there, and he says, depart from me, all ye workers of iniquities. And he's like, I'm weary in war. I'm weary in the war against my flesh. I'm weary in the war against our culture and the world. I'm weary in my battle against the devil. And I just want God to know I'm at war and I need mercy. And so when we're going through the day today, let's remember that part of the joy of our prayer time is that we can ask God for mercy. May God encourage your heart with that wonderful news and that avenue for strength and encouragement for the Christian life and for the Christian himself. God bless you. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow.